The Marvel Netflix universe has been building to this epic event. The question is, was it epic? Welcome to Durbania. I'm Durbin.
I'm the Cholo Nerd.
And we are going to now talk the Defenders. I'm a little late on this review. In my defense, my family came out on a vacation.
I see it.
Oh, pun wasn't intended, but now I wish it was.
Right?
Oh my gosh, that was awesome.
Yes.
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 Yes. But my mom and I, we binged, she hadn't seen Iron Fist, so we binged Iron Fist, and then we went through and binged the Defenders.
Yes.
So I kind of got an interesting perspective, especially because of things my mom kept yelling at the TV during both. That made a lot of sense. And so this will be our spoiler talk for the Defenders. If you haven't watched the Defenders, we're about to spoil everything.
We're gonna spoil the crap.
We're gonna do it. So let's just kick this off. I mean, you and I have not talked about this, so I don't know how you feel about it. You haven't watched my ranking video, so we're both into this cold.
Yes, this is like what we normally do. Like after we watch a series, so you guys get to see it like live now, like what we do, and then we go, oh, let's go record that now. But this is gonna happen. Like this is like a normal conversation.
Yeah. So did you like the Defenders?
I loved it.
Sweet.
I hated the first episode, but then I loved the rest.
Awesome. See, I hated the first two episodes.
Yeah. The second one wasn't good.
Second one was better because they finally started to like meet each other.
Yeah.
But like I just thought the first two episodes of this, I mean, hate's kind of a strong word. I didn't hate it, and it was kind of worth it because I could see that they were building story.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I didn't realize it was 13 episodes until I was about episode 6. And then after that I went, well, why do they take so much time if they only have 8 episodes? It took them 2 episodes for everybody to finally meet. And so, I mean, I don't know, like it was a good introduction to Sigourney Weaver. It was kind of a good setup of where the characters are, but it felt to me like those first 2 episodes were so slow.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I didn't know there wasn't 13. I just assumed there was 13 episodes.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming when I was watching it.
So when episode 8 ended, and I was like, okay, what's next? Oh, that's it. I was like, because it felt like an ending, and it was a good ending, but it was just like, oh, dang, like, what's going to happen in the next few episodes? And then I was like, oh.
There's no more episodes.
There's no more episodes. Like, why only 8? You always give us 13. Like,
yeah, I know.
Come on, man. Like,
I mean, I'm wondering if it's because of, like, Stranger Things, where they do, like, 8 and 9 episodes with Stranger Things, and so it's like, well, that's a cool little trend, so let's do that now. It's like, yeah, but with the Marvel stuff, you're solid with 13.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm not complaining. It's just those... It's funny because I got to episode 6 before I realized there's only 2 more episodes.
Yeah.
And I went, really? And that kind of bummed me out about this first 2 because it's like, okay, if it was a 13-episode season, it makes sense that you would take more time to build it up. But when you have 8 episodes and you need to get this thing going, I was like, dang.
But once 6 episodes of them, like, together, you know?
Yeah. But once it got going, I thought it was pretty good. Like, when they all were at the Chinese restaurant and things like that. Like, that was cool. Like, when they finally... I mean, they spent a lot of time talking around that table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a guy who don't do a lot of talking around the table. I mean, I talk, but when the food's in front of me...
No, I'm eating.
I'm eating.
Yeah.
You know, and then they were just like, hey, you know, no big deal. We got food and criminals running around here about to just surround this building, but let's pass me more of that dim sum. You know, it's like, come on.
But the moment Jessica Jones threw the car through the window onward, I felt like the show really, really picked up for me.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, like, I enjoyed the action, and I enjoyed the story. Like, you know, Sigourney Weaver with this deep need to live forever, and when they ran out of the substance that they used to give themselves, like, that eternal life, and then she's got, like, cancer in her organs or whatever it was where she was dying slowly and had maybe days left. Like, I thought that was interesting to see somebody that's lived for centuries upon centuries, and now they ran out of the substance to bring Elektra back to life. And now it's like, well, we're running out of time. We got to get this stuff going.
We got to move, yeah. All of a sudden, time is of the essence.
Yes.
You know, it's like, crap, what do we do? It's like, oh, you guys didn't have a plan before that? You know, you knew eventually, you know, it's like a gas tank. Eventually, it's going to run out if you're going to drive your car, you know?
Yeah.
So, I didn't get that piece of it. It was like, but when they went at it, with the fight scenes, like against the hand, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah, like the hallway fight in episode 3 where they're all, Though I'm sitting there wondering, it's like, how do people not recognize Murdoch? I mean, he's just wearing a scarf on his head. That's it. It's not even his full costume.
Yeah, it's like, I recognize that suit. I saw that in court. You know, it's like, come on.
Well, the other thing that really got me and I guess this might be it for my negatives, because I think we've done a lot of negatives here. But my other thing is, so they all get arrested in the middle of this, you know, because Stick, you know, he had that incense, but the incense was really some gas that made everybody pass out, and everybody gets arrested, and Matt Murdock is with Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and the Iron Fist, Iron Fist was taken somewhere else, but he's with these super-powered people, and they were taken into the station together as super-powered people, and I'm watching that, and I'm like, I mean, I guess I could see how you wouldn't immediately go, oh, he must be the Daredevil, but I think you would start picking at his story a little bit.
Yeah, you would be looking at, like, there's something to this guy. Why, you know, a lawyer doesn't just chill with all these criminals in the middle of a crime scene.
Yes, unconscious with the criminals at the crime scene. That's like, not what a lawyer does.
He's like, you know what I'm doing? I'm there just to protect them.
Yeah.
Let me get out my pen and pad. And, you know, it's like, no. Like, there's something. He's got something to do with this.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah. So that was kind of weird to me. It's like, come on. I mean, they all should be putting 2 and 2 together. Yeah. Like, they should all start to be figuring out who this guy is. But it was also weird. He's the only one that has a secret identity in this group. Everybody else just goes with their names, just right out there boldly, which is kind of interesting to me.
Speaking of which, oh boy, Danny Rand just can't help telling everybody that he's the immortal Iron Fist.
Everywhere he goes, he goes, I'm the immortal Iron Fist.
You could be like an elevator attendant dude and just like, what floor, please? Well, I'm the immortal Iron Fist. Take me to the 3rd floor, please. It's like, dude, chill with that. We get it. You're happy, but it's like, you're bragging a little much.
Yeah.
Being a little extra right now. Let's be real.
Well, the other thing about the Iron Fist, so you and I did Iron Fist together. We did our review. When I did my ranking video, I put Iron Fist at number 3, and I put it there above Jessica Jones, which, you know, somebody in my comments got really mad at that, and I get why, but it's like, I put Iron Fist higher on my list because I love martial arts, and there's a lot of good martial arts. I love mythology, and I thought that Iron Fist deepened the mythology of the hand, especially with Harold Meacham. So it had more things that I liked overall. But when I was watching this with my mom, there was something about it that kind of always bothered me, and I was like, I can't quite put my finger on it, but there's something about his character that bugs me. And my mom watching it, this outside perspective, I got it. Every 5 minutes, my mom would point at the episode and go, he's crying again! He's crying again! He cries so much!
He's a baby, yeah.
And then we got into the Defenders. She goes, I hope he stops crying. I hope he stops crying. And then right in the middle of the Defenders, there he goes! He's crying again!
And he gets knocked out cold because all of a sudden he thinks he can beat up the Daredevil, which that was one of my favorite scenes right there. Oh,
yeah!
Where he's like, get out of my way, and he's like, no, you can't. Like, I'm sorry, you need to stay here. And then he does like a child and gets offended really quick. Instead of like talking it out with the guy, he's like, come on, man, like, let's look at the bigger picture. No, he looks at, I need to do this by myself, which you can't.
No, you can't.
The Avengers couldn't do it by themselves. They need each other.
And he and Colleen even said that. Like, they can't do this by themselves anymore. They were waging like a 2-man war on the entire thing of the hand because they just thought, well, this is just the responsibility of the Iron Fist. But it's like, no, this is too big of a thing. And like you said, he was acting like a child. Now, the thing I liked about this show is when he took all these characters together, like, you really got the best parts of them. So even though, like, I felt like Iron Fist cried way too much.
Yes.
And that was a childish scene where he's like, no, I think I'll do it alone. I'm the immortal Iron Fist. At least it led to an amazing fight scene between the Daredevil and Iron Fist.
And it turns out, Daredevil got a little step on you, buddy. Yeah. He don't have any superpowers, and he still kind of beats you up a little bit there.
Yes. Yeah.
And you got to get a little pouty and then start glowing fists and punch Luke Cage.
Yep.
Who can take it.
Oh, that was really cool to see Luke Cage take punches from the Iron Fist. Like, I enjoyed that.
I love that first meeting between them when he like punches him and then he's all, bah! And just like chops him and he just like falls to the ground. He's like, what? Like, what the heck? And he starts punching on his stomach, doing body shots and stuff. He's like,
yep.
Nope.
And then finally he focuses. And I was getting mad at that fight. I was like, dude, you have the Iron Fist. You're clearly seeing nothing you're doing is knocking this guy down, and it's comical. Use the stupid Iron Fist. Till finally he did it.
And gave him one knockout there.
Yeah.
I like how he just kind of looks at him like, what the heck? Like did he just punch me with a glowing fist? You know, like,
and it knocked him down.
His fists don't usually glow, you know?
Yeah.
But I love that fight scene with the introduction of that one, and then how awesome and psycho is Stick.
Oh my gosh.
To chop off his own hand to escape.
Oh my gosh.
When he did that, I was like,
you know what was hilarious?
First, I didn't realize it. I was like thinking, hold up. I had to rewind. I was like, did he just chop off his hand so he can escape? Like, that is crazy.
I didn't believe it at first. My mom and Laura and myself were binging it all together, and as we're kind of going through it, and that moment happened, it was such a quick move.
Yeah.
My mom is weird when she watches things, and she's very loud. So she's like, ah! And I was like, gosh, be quiet. But and you know, I didn't notice it because, you know, I flinched when my mom screamed, and my wife noticed it, and I was like, no, he didn't cut off his own hand. No.
Like, nobody would cut off.
So we hit rewind, and boom. He cut off his own hand.
And you know what the first thing that came to my mind after he cut off his own hand is?
What was that?
Looks like he's going to be all right. Because he lost his left hand. And instantly I thought of Arrested Development.
Oh, Buster Bluth.
And I thought, watch out for loose seals. So that was the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
why was that not something that came to my mind while I was watching it? It's such a perfect Arrested Development moment.
And then I even also said in my head, because I was watching it by myself, because I did not want to be interrupted. I wanted to catch all the detail. And then the next thing I said, and that's why you don't get caught by the hand. And then I was like, hey, hand. Oh, I was having fun by myself. I usually
man.
do, but like, yeah, it was all jokes right there.
That is amazing.
But I thought that was pretty awesome that he did that. Like, he just chopped off his hand. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, and then he goes out there and fights and he gets away. I mean, anything to survive, right?
Yeah.
And I like how he shows up to, like, what happened to your hand? He's like, I had to cut it off. It's like no big deal, like, to escape. It's like...
Oh, so at one point, Jessica Jones was just annoying me, like when they're in the Chinese restaurant. Like, you know, here they are being chased by the hand. You have a dude's hand that glows gold, and she's like, it's not chi, it's not this, it's not that. Oh, I don't want to be here. And so finally, Stick just says, sit down and shut up. I was like, thank you, Stick. Thank you.
Stick's such a jerk, but he knows how to take control of a room.
Yeah, he does.
And he knows how to spit a lot of lies. I like how every time he was telling them a story, they're all...
Except for Jessica Jones.
He was just like all into it. Like everybody like leans forward and listens to his story, and Matt Murdock's like, "Don't listen to this senile old man. Like he's crazy." Like,
and Iron Fist is like, "What? This guy has told me more about Kung Lung than any of the people that adopted me in the 15 years that I lived there."
Right? Like, and he's like, "Well, Daredevil knows why not to trust the guy, man."
Yeah.
I mean, they did fight in his apartment once, you know?
Yep. Well, and then he proved himself kind of untrustworthy again because he thought, well, if they want the Iron Fist, and Iron Fist is being a baby, you know, when they had to tie down Iron Fist, he was just going to kill him. I mean, he did that incense to knock out Luke Cage, and then he was just going to go and kill Danny Rand, and I was like, what? Danny Rand's like a child. It's like you going up there to kill a child. No, you don't do that.
And he's a billionaire. Isn't that like a sin?
Yeah, just because he's a billionaire.
Because he's a billionaire, you know?
But like, I could believe it and I couldn't believe it. Because I mean, that's just the way Stick thinks. It's like, get rid of the thing that they need. And it's like, okay, I sort of get that. Then Elektra shows up, who just knocked everybody in that room out. And, you know...
She was scary in that one.
She was scary. I thought they did a great job with Elektra this whole Defender show.
Yeah.
And that whole weird thing was
before,
Sigourney Weaver, Alexandra, making Elektra her daughter. Like, that was so...
Yeah.
It was, like, almost creepy.
Yeah, that was a little creepy. I was like, So she basically adopted her as her daughter, raising a killer, but I don't think she knows how crazy Elektra is, because even before she was the Dark Star, before they put that blood in her to bring her back, like, she was already had, like, issues.
She was already nuts.
Yeah. She got off on killing people. Like, even she was doing it to Daredevil. Kill this guy. Do it. Like, do it. Do it. It's like, calm down. Like, for real. Like, but when they brought her back, oh my gosh, she was crazy. She was a killing machine.
Yeah. And then it surprised me and didn't surprise me that she killed Sigourney Weaver. Like, it was one of those twists because I didn't see it coming, because I really thought Alexandra was it. Like, she was the main villain and everybody's going to have to face her at the end. Like, she was the thing. So I thought she was going to make it all the way to the end. So I was surprised Alexandra didn't make it to the end.
Yeah.
But I wasn't surprised that it was Elektra and her craziness who's deciding, you know what, I could do this. I could rule over the hand. I could be one of the five fingers and make the others submit to me. I could do that, and just kills Alexandra.
And she's like, who's more powerful than me?
Exactly.
She got power issues. You know?
Yeah, she does. But, that actually added something cool to Matt Murdock for me, who wouldn't give up on her.
Yeah.
Like, every chance he had, he just was not going to give up on her and kept trying to remind her of their love for each other and what they were to each other. Because, like, at the end of season 2, she was becoming less crazy. Like, I feel like she started crazy at the beginning.
She wanted to spend her life with him. Like,
and then the more she was with him, the more she wanted to let go of crazy to be with him. And so, like, I thought that was kind of cool. And it was interesting because I got what Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and all them were saying, like, dude, she's crazy. Don't deal with crazy.
Because they don't know the other side of her. They just see the side that's killing everybody. Yeah.
But, I mean, I feel like she still never came back around. Yeah, she didn't kill, Matt Murdock. She didn't go that crazy. So, like, there was a part of that in there. But at the same time, like, she still wasn't good like she was by the end of season 2 of Daredevil. Like, she was, like, crazy.
Yeah, she just had a little bit of good in her and a whole lot of bad in her, but Matt Murdock only cared about that little bit of good. And I love the love story between them at the very end.
Yeah.
Where they're fighting and, he's like he whispers in Iron Fist's ear or something.
Like, watch over my city.
Yeah, we didn't know what it was until the end. He was going to die with this girl. Like, he loved her that much. And so, I knew it from the comic books how much, Elektra and the Daredevil, the love for each other they had. So I knew, of course he would do that, but it was just, like, really shocking. I was like, oh, dang, are they going to die right now?
Well, it's cool to see that. I mean, I figured Daredevil wasn't going to die because, I saw plans for season 3, so it's like,
that's the only thing I hated about that. Why did they go and announce Daredevil season 3? It ruined the ending for the Defenders because when
you do see him alive at the very last shot, but it took away the tension before you get to that last shot. Because you knew season 3's announced. It's like,
ain't dead. He escaped somehow. Like, that's what the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, but it was still a sad moment when you see them in the police station and everybody's there getting with their partners and stuff. And then you see Foggy
and Karen, and they're waiting, and he doesn't show up.
And he doesn't show, and you see him crying. That part got me in the feels a little bit. Not gonna lie, it got me a little in the feels because who loved them more than them,
Yeah.
Especially Foggy. Foggy was his best friend, and that was his worst nightmare coming to
Karen
life.
was so pointless to me in the Defenders.
Yeah,
she's so pointless. Yeah. She had no need to be there. And now that we actually have this love story with Elektra, and it's this deep and powerful, it's like, okay, I'm done with Karen then. Like, why is she still around?
Yeah. Just become Ben, what was it, Ben Ulrich?
Yeah.
Become Ben Ulrich, do some things on the side, but
Yeah, come back in every once in a while. We don't need this to be a main character.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. But, like for the Defender, she definitely didn't need to be there at all. But
no.
So, the thing that was interesting, so talking about Matt Murdock's death, I thought that was cool to see what was in the bottom of the pit. And they needed the Iron Fist to open the secret door, and there were dragon bones underneath New York City.
Yeah.
But that was cool to understand that the substance, like, it came from the dragon bones, right? Like they get the substance that gives them that eternal life out of the dragon bones, mixing with human blood. I don't know. That was kind of weird, but
it was mixed with something. It was something about what was in there that you were able to get all that stuff. But I like what they said. Like this is our city, and they keep saying it was theirs before it was the other one. So I was like, dang, you're like, how old is this city? But then you realize when there's a dragon under there, a dead dragon.
Yeah.
You're like, oh wow, like
they've been here for a long time. There's a Kung Lung door down there. There's a dead dragon in there. It's like
portals
dang.
We don't even know about.
All over the place.
Yeah.
So that was actually to me really, really cool to see.
Yeah, it opens up more possibilities for the Marvel universe.
Yeah,
too.
It really does.
At least a lot more with the mystic side of it.
Well, if they ever would take these Netflix shows and mention them in the movies and incorporate them in the movies, that definitely opens a lot of doors.
Yeah.
But I mean, the show is really good at acknowledging the movies and where we are in the timeline, but the movies are not good at acknowledging any of the shows, which if the movies should acknowledge any show, it should be the Netflix ones.
And it makes sense now, to me, they don't want to acknowledge it for one reason. The Avengers moved out of New York.
Yeah.
Who defends New York now?
Yeah, the Defenders.
The Defenders.
Yep.
So that was kind of like their way of saying,
except
the Defenders will defend here because they can't have all this tragedy going on and then the Avengers are just like, what are they, having a coffee break?
Yep.
Having a little smoke and a pancake?
But we need to get
come on, it's like, come on, really? All this is going on and Iron Man's like,
but now we need a Tom Holland Spider-Man because we made a big deal about Tom Holland sticking around in New York.
Yes, and he was a Defender. So
yeah, so we need...
come on. I mean, Doctor Strange is still there too, and he was in charge of the Defenders.
I mean, come on. We have Benedict Cumberbatch who's willing to do the BBC TV Sherlock, so he should be willing to do, a Defender show. And come on, Tom Holland, another chance to play Spider-Man, not just on the big screen. Let's bring at least those two characters into this Defenders fold. That would be awesome. So, what was I gonna say? It must not have been important.
You were gonna say, I don't know.
Well, what would you give this show as a letter grade?
A letter grade, I would give it a A-.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I love the ending. I love the fight scenes a lot. I can't give it an A+ because the first episode and the second episode were just like, okay.
Yeah.
Some of the lines were kind of cheesy, but I still loved it. I'm currently going through it again, and I'll probably go through it a couple more times. So A-.
I think A- is where I settled with it too. Like, I was toying with the idea of a B+, but in the end, I think it's kind of better than that. And I feel like with the season finale, I feel like it was missing something. Like, I wanted something else. But nonetheless, it still had great things. I mean, the self-sacrifice of Matt Murdock for the woman that he loves, the reveal of the dragon and all that stuff down in the pit. Like, a lot of stuff was really cool in that season finale. And I want to know where we're going to pick up with the next Iron Fist and where we're going to pick up with the next Daredevil series. Like the way those two characters in particular left off, I'm very curious about it. So the fact that it left me curious about even Iron Fist, who kind of annoys me at points, like the fact that it left me curious about that, it's like, oh, well, good job there. So I think A- is where I'm going to settle.
And actually, speaking of that, like, because how they were already working on Luke Cage, season 2, they also hinted at, because in the comic book, Luke Cage and Jessica Jones are married.
Oh.
And so they hinted at...
And he's with Claire right now.
And he's technically with Claire right now, but they hinted that there's still something going on where he protects her from the bullets, and he's laying on top, and she's all... Remember this? And he just smiles at her and says, just like old times, you know? Like, so they're hinting at, there's still something there.
There's still
And so I wonder if maybe that will play a role in the next season of Jessica Jones and Luke Cage.
That would be interesting
in a couple
to see.
Seasons.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they technically are married in the comic books. So.
Interesting. I will be very
Spoiler
curious.
alert. No.
Oh, well, this is a spoiler talk, so,
that's true.
There you go.
I guess I can say it again. Spoiler alert, Thanos kills everybody. He's coming soon, too.
No.
I'm ready.
I'm ready too. What did you think of the Defenders? Make sure to let us know in the comments. And while you're there, hit the subscribe button to become a Durbanian. Next to the subscribe button is the bell. Click the bell so you're notified the moment I drop new videos and cool things like that. I also have this Patreon page, so if you want to support Durbania and keep what I'm doing going here strong, you can check out the link to that. I have that in my description. Make sure you check out the other awesome videos that I have here as well. I'm Durbin.
I'm the Cholo Nerd.
Thank you for checking out Durbania.